Hello and welcome back to the Algebra 2 PLC special edition as we look at some of the items from the semester exam review packet about which we've received some emails. I'm James Key with the MCPS math team.
And I'm John Chase. I'm a teacher at Richard Montgomery High School. Let's just jump right in. We're going to be looking at a question that someone emailed in. 19A is the question on the on-level review packet. Says, choose the interval in which the solution lies, and that's the instruction for the next couple ones we're going to look at, 19A, 19B, 19C. So how do we reason through this particular one? Well, again, if we went through the curriculum the way it was presented in one of the SLTs, this is the log base 2 of 18. Well, that's the what power function. What power turns 2 into 18? And that power apparently is x. Apparently 2 to the x is 18. Like, that's a true statement about x apparently. And also, we'll also recognize that again as the definition of a logarithm. Like, that's what we mean by this exact expression. We mean x to be the thing that satisfies this equation. I think that's a slightly more intuitive way for our students to see this. 2 to the x equals 18. All right, now we're ready to work through some guesses for x. My first guess is 1, or no, wait. That's only x. When I do that, I get 2 to the first is 2. Okay, well, bad guess. How about 2 or 3? As we work up the powers, I think we and especially if our students have a familiarity with some of the powers of 2, they'll recognize that 2 to the 4th is 16, not enough, and that 2 to the 5th is 32, which is quite a bit more than 18. And so our solution needs to be between, that is x, needs to be between 4 and 5. And that's a great interval for us to answer with.
All right. And as we look at the other parts of question 19, the bracketing strategy that John was using there will serve us well. So let's go ahead and take a look at part B together. In part B, students are presented with the equation 3 to the power of what is equal to 10, and we'd like to bracket the values that x can assume here, or the value, I should say. So in looking at this, I'm just thinking about the powers of 3 and kind of following a strategy similar to what John modeled with the powers of 2. I know that 3 to the first power is 3, 3 to the second power is 9, getting close to 10 there. 3 to the third power is 27. And I know that I can stop because I've actually bracketed the target value that we're aiming at here. I've found a power of 3 that's smaller than 10, and I've found a power that's larger than 10. And so it must be the case that x is smaller than 3, but larger than 2. So on the number line, x lies somewhere in the interval strictly between 2 and 3. Shabam. John, take it away with part C.
All right. So these are getting a little bit repetitive, but we have something a little bit different on part C. We have to think a little bit about what the common log looks like here. We've got the log base what of 20? That's right. It's the log base 10 of 20. It's just our normal way of writing the log base 10. So now once we understand this, we can again kind of think, all right, well, what is this? Let's just use a question mark for fun. 10 to what power? Again, we're kind of thinking about logs as being the what power function here. 10 to what power gives me 20? Well, again, let's work through the powers. 10 to the first, I know that one, it's 10. And 10 to the second, already we're zooming away, we're at 100. And so this solution, the question mark, the thing that we're interested in thinking about, the question mark is in the interval for sure, 1 to 2. I'm using open brackets, and I'm using interval notation because occasionally we like to expose our students to that too. So there you go, between 1 and 2.
Fantastic. Let's go ahead and cap off this problem with problem 19, part D. Students are presented with the equation 5 to the power negative x is equal to 1/6, and we want to choose the interval in which the solution lies. So thinking about the powers of 5, I know that 5 to the power of negative 1 is 1/5. And I'm choosing negative powers because I'm aiming at a fraction here. 5 to the power of negative 2 is 1/25. And on the number line, 1/6 lies in between 1/25 and 1/5. So I know that this is going to bracket the solution. By the way, my drawing is not to scale here. I'm just trying to demonstrate the order. All right, so let's see. We have 5 to the power of negative x is 1/6, which again is in between these two values. And so negative x is in between -1 and -2, which can only mean that x is in between 1 and 2. And that completes our discussion of problem 19. We hope that discussion is helpful to you as you think about how students might engage with the problems in the exam review packet and the kinds of things that you might question them about if they're struggling. Thanks for tuning in.